Hey, to everyone or anyone that has been affected by this 1 in 60 year flooding event, I am so sorry that you have to go through it, in particularly those families who had to work through last year's fires. It's not fair, but as Aussies, you guys will pull through, do the right thing, and hopefully just within a few months, things will start to feel a little bit like normal again. But my heart and mind are with everyone that has lost a home, their pets, a farmer's year worth of crops. It's just horrific. It's really awful. But stick solid, don't give up. And I dare say that this upcoming round of sport, whether it be AFL, NRL or Super Rugby, it'll be dedicated to all of you for sure. And it may mean little, but this video is dedicated to all of you as well. With that being said, in a way it's fitting, but also terribly unfortunate that the first game for round 3 begins on Thursday night out at Penrith, where it's the grand final rematch, Panthers versus Storm. And this is a game that we all should be looking forward to. This is the start of what could be a great rivalry, a modern day rivalry. And unfortunately as well, Nathan Cleary, as of 25 minutes ago, has been ruled out for the clash, and so Matthew Burton will slot straight on in to, I suspect, 5/8. And Melbourne Storm will be without Kafusi. So this is easily the hardest game of the round to pick. And I think losing Cleary and the first choice hooker in Coruscant, and the Floods themselves, I think it's going to discombobulate Penrith. And in late breaking news, Ryan Papenhuyzen has been eliminated from tomorrow night's game. I'm going to tip Penrith. Friday night features 2 contests. Game 1 comes to us from Wollongong's Wynn Stadium, where St George host Manly. St George's defence is what won them the game last week. They still leaked 18 points, but yeah, that period in the second half, their goal line defence was stout. And Manly, they were close against South Sydney, but man, ill discipline and bad errors and decision making from Manly really let them down for sure. I have to tip St George by 13 plus for Friday night. And then game 2, the oldest rivalry in rugby league. A new chapter will be written into the Book of Feuds. South Sydney host Easts for the first time out at Stadium Australia this year. South Sydney, I'm not on board the hype train for South Sydney. They lost to the Bulldogs last year, and then a week later they came out and ran riot against the Roosters. And in their semi-finals, they were down against Newcastle, they were down against Parramatta. Manly were there to get them last week, and they lost to Melbourne in the opening round. I'm not completely sold on him, but Latrell Mitchell, I'm so happy for him. He is already having a cracker of a season. And the Sydney Roosters, while it wasn't completely unexpected that they won, the way that they won was terrifying. Brett Morris won the clock back, if you don't mind. I'm going to tip the Sydney Roosters 1-12 to beat South Sydney on Friday night, but it's going to be another corker of a contest. Super Saturday has 3 games this weekend. The first coming to us from GIO Stadium, where the Raiders host the Warriors. The Raiders were in a fair old tussle last Sunday night against Cronulla and were lucky to walk away with the points. Their second half was, over the standards of the past few years, it was not Raider-like, not at all. But they got away with the 2 points in the end, and that's what matters. And then the Warriors, poor Chanel Tavita Harris. I think I might have butchered your name, sorry, but their young half for the Warriors is out for the next 12 weeks. What a bugger that is. It was a good game against Newcastle. It was a good game, one of the better games of the year so far, but they just couldn't get the job done. And I don't think they'll get the job done away from Central Coast, down in Canberra, on what will probably be an overcast, chilly old Saturday Arvo game. I'm going to tip the Raiders 1-12. The second game on Saturday sees us at Suncorp, where Brisbane host Canterbury. Isn't the outcome of this game going to be interesting? Brisbane, I don't think they were terrible, especially in recent months or over the past 18 months. They've certainly put in worse, but what happened towards the end of that first half, hey? And the Bulldogs have got a lean year ahead of them. I know that they played in the wet last week, but boy howdy, their attack looked really ordinary. But they're still committed. As the case was last year, they're still coming out and they're fighting, and they're going down fighting. So I'm going to tip Brisbane, but strike me pink. What if Bulldogs come up and win? Bloody hell. Super Saturday finishes from Bankwest Stadium, where Parramatta host Cronulla. Parramatta versus Melbourne last week is so far game of the year. What a high quality game of football that was. It was awesome, and they would not have won that game last year, I don't think. Yeah, the weather might have been a factor, but I still don't think they would have won that game last year. So it's really good to see. That's definitely a step in the right direction for Parramatta. And the Sharks, don't know where they'll finish. I know what to make of them. I think they're defensively tough. I think they're very talented. They've got talented individuals as well. And I bet they're counting down the days until Sean Johnson comes back from his Achilles injury sometime in May, I think it is. This should be a good game. Depending on the weather, I'm not sure what it's going to look like over the weekend come Saturday for Sydney, but I can't see Parramatta losing at home to Cronulla. I think they'll have too many points in them. I don't think Cronulla Sharks will have enough points in them to beat Parramatta. So, but I still think it'll be close. Parramatta 1-12. Sunday has 2 games, and the first of which comes to us from McDonald Jones Stadium, where Newcastle host Wests. I've underestimated Newcastle in the opening rounds. I thought with them being down Fitzgibbon and Ponga and Pearce's off-season and the rest of the Knights off-season as well, I thought they'd have a slow start. But Bradman Best, holy guacamole, he's dynamic. And he was the difference last week in beating the Warriors away from home. I like what Newcastle are evolving into. You saw good signs of it last year, and it seems like they have taken the next step, but you'd love to see them flog someone, and there's a fair chance that it'll happen this Sunday against West. I think the time is coming for Michael Maguire, not because he's doing a bad job. It's his style of coaching that is too much of a styles clash for the fabric of the West Tigers club, where it's attacking football. We'll score 12 if you score 10, and he's just way too defensive. He's way too structured, and that's just not in the fabric of West Tigers. And I have a bad feeling that he's just going to throw in the white towel. Not to give up, but he's really going to say, you know what, you guys don't want to buy into my coaching, well then go and find somebody else, because I know I'm a good coach, and I'm going to go find a club that actually wants to listen to me and actually wants to play structured football. Yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a spray for Wests, because yeah, that was a bad performance last week against the Roosters. Newcastle by 13 plus. And then finally, coming out from QCB Stadium in Townsville, the Queensland Derby, North Queensland Cowboys versus Gold Coast Titans. Cowboys, much improved over their round one performance. Todd Payton has stuck solid again with the same 17. I think that's the right move, but I think it's the last time that he should make that move if North Queensland don't get the job done, or more importantly, don't show up and have a good showing. And against the Gold Coast Titans, you're going to have to be, especially that Ash Taylor, the 5'8", is going to be missing for a few weeks with a stress fracture in his hand. So that gives Cowboys a bit more of a chance for sure. But against Big Tino and Fafita, and I think Corey Thompson, the winger, last week for Gold Coast was an unsung hero. I thought he had a blinder of a game for the Titans. I'm going to tip North Queensland 1-12, get their first win of the season. So that's my tips. I got 5 from 8 last week. I'm on 10 points, I think it is. I'll put up a graphic for you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my thoughts and my heart are with those who are being affected by this terrible 1 in 60 year flooding event. As always, go Cowboys.